It's been a great evening. I hope that you're filling up on knowledge as well as food and wine. My name is Arnell Milhouse. I am the CEO and co-founder of the Career Devs Computer Science University. We're located in Providence, Rhode Island. We've taken a 4-year computer science degree program and we've distilled it down into a 1-year process with rigorous CS education from Brown University and Harvard University. And we're bringing it to the masses in a 12-month program where people don't have to go into debt to do it at all. So it costs about $4,000 or $5,000 for the full 1 year. We get subsidized payments from the state of Rhode Island, from the mayor, the city of Providence as well, and it's a really great program. And Brown University just recently opened up a $25 million Nelson Center for Entrepreneurship, of which I've just been named one of their entrepreneurs in residence. With that, we're really trying to take a lot of the knowledge from the Ivy League environment and bring it into the rest of society, and oftentimes people that didn't have access to that. And tonight, we have an amazing panel. I've had some time to speak with everyone here on this panel, almost. But I believe you're really going to be impressed and amazed, and you're going to go away really well informed. So we're going to have each person introduce themselves, their company, and tell us about your expertise, your specific background, and what makes you the person to be in the position that you're doing what you're doing right now. And we'll begin right here.
Reggie Milton, I'm an investor. Quick bio. I bought real estate, started about 2000, not too far from here, downtown Brooklyn, Fort Greene, rode the fundamental wave up until 2 plus 2 started to equal like 413. Not good in math, but I know it's now 413. Sold off the portfolio, shorted all the companies who did business with me, and I had my own team of analysts, so we put reports out. We shorted Bear Stearns, Lehman Brothers, General Growth Properties, European sovereign debt crisis, about 96 calls all in all. Return cash on cash was about 4,000 or 5,000%, and that's without leverage. After that, took a year off, decided to do a hedge fund that didn't work out, and caught the blockchain bug. I take fundamental analysis and rigorous old school financial acumen, and I bring it to the new crypto world of blockchain.
I want to have a deep dive in. We're going to start with Mr. Milton here, who I have to say has the world's best business card right here. I mean,
34 karat gold.
I feel like I'm a prospector up here, right? We can prospect Reggie for. This isn't real gold, is it?
It all depends who I'm talking to.
It all is.
For you it is. For the rest of the guys, brand
All right, awesome, wonderful. So, but Reggie, can you tell us a little bit more about Veritaseum, how we got started, and what it is?
So Veritaseum is a peer-to-peer capital markets startup. That's a fancy way of saying it allows Peter to do business directly with Paul without an authoritative third party. So Peter wants to transfer value to Paul, you don't need a bank. If you want to do a contingent upon the price fee, you don't need an exchange or a broker or a broker-dealer or an agent, etc. You can take that and you can extrapolate it to do lots of wonderful things using blockchains, crypto assets, and smart contracts. A smart contract, for those who are not familiar with it, is computer code that emulates a legal or social agreement. And if you fund it with capital, decide that I want to go out on a date with his girlfriend, okay, for $150, and she'll do it for $150. I escrow $150, right? He or his girlfriend get escrow $150. We consummate that deal, and if one of us pull out, then we lose $150 each. Now there's no financial incentive for us to pull out. There may be a strategic incentive, like I'm not as cute as he is, but from a financial perspective, it's ironclad. So we take these contracts and we use these contracts to replicate the business models of industries where there's a lot of financial economic rent. Economic rent is a fancy way of saying you're overcharging for your services. The Wall Street industry is a perfect example. It's the only industry in the world where the employees make more than the owners of the company. Up to 60% of revenues go to compensation, benefits, and bonuses. So we take that business, we offer the same products and services for 10% margin, and they can't compete. It's just that simple. 60% is going to 10%. That's what we're doing. We own our intellectual property. Our products are up and running right now. Go to Veritaseum.com. You see basically a web page that acts as an investment bank or brokerage. You can buy tokenized gold, tokenized silver, soon tokenized private equity, real estate, etc. You can buy it right now, and you can sell it, trade it, do loans in it, etc. Everything becomes a currency. This building, tokenized, becomes real estate currency. The lease payments become lease payment currency. Gold becomes the Bretton Woods US dollar, when each dollar was backed by gold. Same thing for anything. He could become his currency, etc. So we take this new paradigm of making everything a tradable currency, real money. Real money is something that has actual tangible value versus fiat money, which is value based upon belief in, which is a Greek term for fiat. And we look to remake capital markets today. A real life example, we're looking to tie all 54 countries of Africa together through our platform, through a Pan-African economic token, and that will create or recreate a United States of Africa using a United States of Africa dollar backed by gold, which is stable amongst all fiat currencies, more stable than any fiat currency, and it enables continental Africa to compete and most likely surpass the EU and compete for third spot or second with China and the US. It's not pie in the sky, it's not going to happen in 2023, it's not a white paper. We started already, and it's already, in action. That's one example of many. I don't want to occupy the time, but as we go on through the panel, I'll give you practical use cases of how that is very unique. Before I go, one thing is you create stable real money. Anybody ever hear of stable coins? Raise your hand. Okay, a stable coin is what? Yeah, speak up so we can hear you.
One that doesn't fluctuate randomly or isn't parabolic.
And most stable coins are based on what?
Use case.
They're based on stable US dollar. Okay, if you've ever left the country, you will know that the last thing that will be stable is the US dollar. It fluctuates wildly. So by definition, you can't have a stable coin based on fiat because it's unstable. Okay, so any stable coin you see based in fiat is an unstable coin. So I bring a very applied economics view to crypto, which is going to be in direct contravention to most of the stuff you'll see in consensus and blockchain week, etc. Don't shoot the messenger.
And Reggie wants to chime in on that as well. Thank you, Jimmy.
Here comes the troublemaker on the other side. The reason why Coinbase and the other companies that got the digital, the bit license are doing very well has nothing to do with the bit license. That's to do with the fact that they're hyper capitalized. So when you raise 40, 50, 100 million, $150 million in capital, chances are you're gonna have a much higher rate of success than someone who raised $400,000, $40,000. The bit license, it appears from the outside looking in, does not appear like it does not appear that it was designed to serve the retail investor. It looks like it was designed to hold back entrepreneurial forces and back up the status quo. If you had the bit license or something similar to it and applied it to the internet industry, right, most of the HTTP would be written in Chinese or Japanese right now, okay? And that's what happens when you overregulate something that you don't understand or overregulate something when you tend to pick winners and losers. Now, this is a contrarian perspective, but I think it's a realistic and applied perspective as well.
Question for Reggie. When using the Debater app, when it comes down to real estate, is it just the precious metals you can use as a peer-to-peer loan, or is it fiat also?
You can use anything that's tokenized. So anything that's tokenized or veritized becomes, I would say a form of currency, but because of over-regulation, I can't say that, becomes a store of value that is transferable. So if we tokenize this building, okay, we could use each token unit of this building or the lease cash flows from this building or the management company shares to purchase gold or silver or tokenized privacy. So each token has a value upon itself and it becomes fungible and tradable for something else. So the more things that we veritize or tokenize, the larger this tradable capital pool becomes. So eventually, say 15 years into the future, instead of saying I want to spend $40 to purchase a chair, you could say I want to spend 223, 16,000 units to purchase that chair. And that's the goal, to basically make